I can't hear. There we go. Hey everyone, I'm Justin King. I am not the person that's on the program today. That person is my colleague Kolsum. She decided to have a baby, so I had to step in, and you have to listen to me, unfortunately, as part of that. But my name is Justin King. I'm a product manager at Dell. We work on integrated solutions. What does that mean? We validate use cases and outcomes, work with the technology vendors, put it all on Dell hardware so that we can help reduce your risk as part of these validated designs. And so we do the grunt work. We document all of this into design guides, white papers, and then you can take that information, apply it to services, or take it as a DIY program and follow it yourself as part of that. And so here, I'm going to talk about automated machine learning. This is something of a trend that we're seeing. Customers, as I go to the next slide here, customers are committing to delivering AI in their business, but there's problems for them at the moment. Those problems are the skills to get AI, not only understand what it can do from a business justification, but also to have the skills to be able to build those models, train those models, and put them into production. And there's no one tool that can do all of it. You're going to be bringing multiple components, technologies in there. And so there is a skills gap that we've got to overcome. That's where our validated designs are helping with or providing guidance, because we have the experience. We've been doing AI for a long time, all the big companies in the US and around the world. And so we want to share that experience. We're doing things like smart cities and the computer vision technologies with image classifications. We're doing fraud detection for the banks and things like that. We want to take that expertise and share it with all of our customers so they get the best of it. And so automated ML, what is that? Well, machine learning is where everyone wants to start when they get into their AI mindset. They think, oh, I can just build an algorithm and I can get a result that I'm happy with and I can go forward with that. What they don't realize is there's many other pieces that go into that process to be able to make the tweaks, to be able to put the hyperparameters in, to be able to lifecycle those models, retrain them on an ongoing business as part of that. And so there's many tools that are needed as part of that. And as we get into that, we're talking machine learning operations. Machine learning operations is the ability to give you a framework, a platform to build a model, but it's a data scientist-driven environment. What this does is it allows the data scientist to build a model, make some tweaks, but it's all him. He can inject biasness into that model. And so we can go to the high end of the spectrum where we have automated machine learning. And what that means is you're able to take some data and find value in that data. And that's really the starting point for AI, is to understand the data, because without the data and understanding the data, you will not be effective at delivering models into production as part of that. So we're working with a good partner of Dell, H20 AI. They've been around for quite some time now, but they're one of the leaders in automated machine learning as part of that. And we have representation here in the audience today. But what this allows us to do is we have our projects that we want to build, and it gives us at a high level a platform to where we can bring that data, we can make sense of that data, visualize it, we can make some models, we can tweak that, we get a scoring system, and then we can take that model and take it into a machine learning operations aspect to where we can then move it into production as part of that. So we get the benefits of automated data visualization, feature engineering, model documentation, scoring pipelines, and that's really one of the key benefits of automated ML is scoring, because you get to look at that data with a model in every possible scenario, and it gives you a scoring system. I think we have a slide that shows it in a bit more detail in a second, but it gives you the ability to look at that data from that score. You may not want the highest number that's there because it may be too prescriptive. If you're looking for like the cat versus dog and there's a breed that kind of roughly resembles both, you're never going to get it right. And so you may want to have a little bit of flexibility in that model so that you can be able to have the model more accurate to your outcomes and needs as part of that. But in short, what we have is how driverless AI works is it's drag and drop, connect your data. The data gets loaded into H20. There's some prep work that goes on. It's able to understand, look at that data, look at some missing values, look at the shaping of that, And it's being able to then kind of take a cube effect and start analyzing and looking at data. Then it becomes apparent with the model. That's where we get the scoring. And so we're able to then look at it in different ways. We can tweaks as part of that model to enhance it. And then it keeps rescoring and rescoring. And so we get to a point where we can then have a model that we can then put into more testing for production. This is just training the model to start the model. But then you've got to take it from the data that you've been using and apply it to new data, more recent data or fresh data as part of that. And that's where you can bring in your own transformations, your own algorithms, and your own scores if there's a certain outcome that you're driving as part of that. And then as part of that process, we get a model. From there, we get that model, we're able to put that into production. And that's where you're able to get your business outcomes as part of that. And so from a high level, the validated design that we have, it's available today on delltechnologies.com. But we have, as you can see in the yellow boxes here, we have our H20 instances. We're doing NLP, time series forecasting, image classification. You can use AutoML with and without GPUs. When you're using GPUs, these are compute workloads, so you'll be using a GPU operator. And NVIDIA has the NVIDIA AI Enterprise Suite for providing that functionality and giving you access to some tools with support as part of that. But then you're able to build this. We've done all of this running on Tanzu with the GPU capability. And then where we're getting to is we're moving away from siloed environments. You have your software and a rack of servers, storage, networking. We're now moving to how the cloud has been doing it for the last decade, and that's really a shared common platform. I'm running multiple technologies all on the same infrastructure. And so as part of that, Dell's also taken that approach as we move with our solutions and move them more into a sizing recommendation. So you can see how much of the AutoML you want to use, what size containers you'll need, how much of that you'll need to be putting on to the platform, and then you have the choice to run this on a virtualized environment with Tanzu, or you can run it on a Kubernetes environment running on bare metal as part of that. And so the idea here is that we want to give you the flexibility to what's the best meets the needs of your business. And we are targeting all of our solutions on both platforms going forward. So you can see how the architecture was here. What does it mean from a hardware perspective? This is the Dell slide. Right here, we've got our VxRail 670 HCI. Or if you want more GPUs, you can have up to 2 GPUs in the VxRail. If you need up to 4 GPUs per physical server, then the XA comes with that capability. We did our testing with A100, but you can also use A30 as well. If you are doing some more on the visualization side, you may want to use an A40 instead of as part of that, but we have not tested that to date because of the use cases we were driving with this. We've got our Dell networking switches for out-of-band and in-band. The software, we're using vSphere. We did the testing with vSphere 7.0 Update 3. Obviously, vSphere 8 is coming, and by the end of the year, we'll have that updated for you. But we have the vSphere with Tanzu. We have NVIDIA AI Enterprise providing the middleware and the support for some of the data science technologies. And then AutoML is with Driverless AI as part of H20 with that. And then a lot of people want to understand the data. The data is going to be 10x what you're planning it to be. There's going to be so much data being consumed. You're not going to be able to distribute it across local servers. It doesn't make sense. Always keep your compute and your data on separate entities. And from that, with our storage, we have our vSAN for the housing of the containers themselves, the runtimes as part of that. And then you'd be connecting to a power scale for whether it's HDFS or NFS. We have ECS as well for object store. And we're adding all the time different data platforms. But don't try to bring everything together as one. Keep them separate. It'll be healthier and longer living as you go forward with your AI pipelines and build on that. So one of the interesting things that we worked with was this has been an evolution for us. We knew machine learning was there. We went ahead and we worked with machine learning operations. We chose a vendor, Converge.io, an Intel company right now. And so we have this big product, this platform for machine learning operations and lifecycle production and feature training on a manual size of that. And this is probably the next step is machine learning operations. And so having this, H20 can also do this. And so you have the choice to be able to bring the two together and keep it with a single vendor. Or if you're following the evolution as Dell is building this, you are able to utilize what we've done, because we, as my engineering teams, have integrated this. So you can't take a model from another MLOps vendor and put it into H2O, because H2O just wants to look at data. It looks at that data and assembles its own models. And so you can take that model from H2O and then put it in an alternative MLOps solution if needed. And we did that with using the Python API to be able to embed the two together. So if you're doing machine learning, you're kind of on your own. If you're doing machine learning operations, you can do that with H2O. You can do that with Converge. And then if you want AutoML, we have it all working together as one as part of that. So I'm going to confess here, there's a use case here. This is not my slide. I do not know the story about this, so I apologize. But after the session, we'll be able to tell you a bit more. Lee, I'm sure, has some insight to it. But obviously, a use case that we have documented around this. And we can tell you more after the recording. And then really the next step, let Dell be a part of your journey with you. Let's evolve this together. Let's understand your needs. Let us build solutions. We can take those to many other customers that are in your situation today. And so let's collaborate. I feel like a Vanilla Ice song is coming on here or something, but let's collaborate, explore, innovate, and accelerate. So with that, I can take some questions. I know it's the light audience today. I apologize. It is the last day of the sessions of the week. And so any questions? No? Yes, Janet.